Welcome back. Good to have you along. You're watching Ozarks Tonight. I'm David Oliver. We've talked quite a bit during this coronavirus pandemic about how local nonprofits that help families in need or in crisis across the Ozarks are still trying to get that important work done, even in these unprecedented times. One such agency is the Child Advocacy Center here in Springfield. I want to bring in tonight Linda Saturno, the Executive Director of the Child Advocacy Center. Linda's been with us before. Good to see you once again, Linda.
Thank you.
Let's talk about what's going on with you all right now. Before we get into the important work that you're trying to do and still serve people, remind our viewers exactly what it is the Child Advocacy Center does.
The Child Advocacy Center supports those state-mandated officials who investigate child abuse and neglect, and we provide a place for a child to tell their story in a safe and friendly environment and bring all of those officials together. So we conduct the forensic interview, we conduct a forensic medical exam, and then we support the investigation through testimony. We also do a lot of community work discussing prevention and helping parents recognize the signs of child abuse and neglect.
Sure. So obviously it's important work you all do, and we've had you on the broadcast before and talked about that work. Tell me how you are trying to operate and still offer these important services right now as people are sheltering in place and staying home and not out in public for the most part.
Well, all of us had to figure out, how do we get our businesses up and running? We've got to be available, we've got to be there, what do we do? And in our instances, our forensic interview rooms are quite small, and we're talking about people being in close proximity together. So our forensic interviewers are wearing masks. We're providing masks to children who come in and their parents. We're asking parents and caregivers to only have one person accompany that child. We're also providing masks to law enforcement, children's division. We're separating them so that they're not in close proximity. So our whole operation is practicing as normal, with the exception that we have our staff divided into two different teams so that we can keep one set of people well and not exposed to the other, to make sure that our operation would not go down.
You know, we did some reporting here at Color 10 on the fact that when a lot of the stay-at-home orders went in place, the calls to our state child abuse and neglect hotline went down. And that was a concern. And you have said that you all are seeing an uptick in more severe cases of concern, that you're trying to offer help in those circumstances.
Yes, and certainly the calls did go down statewide by about half initially going into COVID. What we've seen, and I'll give credit to our media for supporting this, and to law enforcement and the teachers making those calls, we have seen more reporting go up. So we feel like we are capturing some of that. There's still high risk for children, obviously a very high risk for children being at home during this pandemic. From our standpoint in the Child Advocacy Center, as we've cut down into having two different teams, what we have seen in the cases that have come in is they are more severe. We are seeing more physical abuse, and we've had a couple more serious and normal sexual abuse cases. So that, we feel, is a reflection just of the isolation and of family stress.
Well, and now that we're seeing some of the stay-home orders extended a bit longer, I guess the natural concern would be that some of that fear and anxiety that may be leading to some of that abuse you're talking about would continue and perhaps just maybe even kind of amp up a bit.
You know, it is really concerning, because the longer people are out of work and the longer money is a concern for them, and the longer that they're kept in closed quarters, stress is going to increase. And so we're worried that it could potentially get worse. Now, of course, we have to do what's right to keep everyone safe. And that also means we have to be creative in how we keep children safe. So the community partnership of the Ozarks, working with Isabel's House and Boys and Girls Clubs and some of our other agencies working together, are putting together a hotline that hopefully will be announced soon, where parents and caregivers can call in and ask for resources and get some additional help to support their family and hopefully lower that stress.
And we've done some we've done some reporting here on the fact that a lot of the local nonprofits are kind of stepping up and trying to help each other through these historic times right now. And I was going to say, too, you talk about the kids, they're staying home, too, and they don't have that school structure right now, which also gives them a sense of stability in their own life.
Well, that's absolutely right. So you're talking about children of all ages that all of a sudden they don't have their regular going to school, their regular routine, and they're having to learn online. I think the schools have done a fabulous job of adapting very quickly like the rest of us had to and are making those phone calls. Teachers have had to tweak, learn new methods of trying to discover whether children are well and whether they're safe. And one of our board members actually had the opportunity to be in the same room when her third grader got a phone call from the teacher and heard how the teacher was interacting in a fabulous way with the child and asking questions about food and safety in a way that would not have, alarmed the child. She just felt really good about what she heard coming out of Springfield Public Schools.
Sure. I understand. Linda, we've got about a minute to go here with our time with you on the broadcast. What's the takeaway you want our viewers to take away from our time together here tonight? And also remind people how they can step up to help you, even during this time when people are staying home and kind of sheltering in place.
Well, thank you for asking that. What I don't want people to do is to hear, hotline calls are going back up and then back off of their due diligence. Adults have responsibility. All of us have responsibility. I want neighbors to continue listening, watching for children, calling on anything that they hear or see that looks odd. People who are dropping food off, dropping, fast food off or at the house. If they see something when the door opens, our law enforcement certainly are out there making those hotline calls. So that to me is the biggest message, to say we cannot back off, also recognizing we're in this for a little bit longer. So we must continue to be vigilant about watching to protect children.
And remind our viewers of your website and your phone number too.
Our website is childadvocacycenter.org. And our phone number is 417-831-2327. Okay. We have some additional materials on our website that will give parents tips and to help them recognize signs of abuse, but also some fun activities for kids to do to help occupy them some during this time.
Linda Saturno, the Executive Director of the Child Advocacy Center here in Springfield. We appreciate the work you do, and I'm glad you could join us tonight via Skype. Stay safe.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll have more Ozarks tonight after this quick break.